Hello everyone, it's me Luthfia. Today we are going to learn about teaching across proficiency levels. There are some topics that we are going to learn. The first is defining proficiency levels. The second is teaching beginner level. The third is teaching intermediate levels. And the fourth, teaching advanced level. Let's start with defining proficiency level. There are some ways or some tests in defining the student's or someone's proficiency level. The first is FSI or ILR level. So, Interagency Language Roundtable or ILR is a standard measure of language proficiency for all U.S. government agencies. It was developed by U.S. State Department Foreign Service Institute, or FSE. ILR describes a learner's proficiency on a rising scale ranging from 0 up to 5, using positive levels designators between each base level to indicate that while learner has mastered the base level below and is able to meet some requirements for the base level above. So this is the scale ranking of ILR level, starting from 0 or no proficiency up to 5 or functionally native proficiency. There's no specific test instrument in ILR so that the government can design their own test instrument according to their need based on ILR scoring. And this is the example of the scoring of ILR. The second is IELTS band scale. I'm sure that all of you are familiar with IELTS. So IELTS is an international standardized test of English language proficiency for non-native English language speakers. IELTS assesses for skill of English and it is used for academic, occupational, and business purpose. The scale of IELTS ranging from 0 up to 9 and in this case is designed to apply any of the four skills. And this is the example of IELTS in scale. So the scoring ranging from 0 up to 9 along with the descriptors. The third is ACTFL proficiency guidelines. So this type is developed from ILR level for academic community and it is a proficiency standard in many language teaching circles. It has four main levels, the first third of which are divided into three sub-levels. So the main levels include novice, intermediate, and advanced, and superior. But in novice, intermediate, and advanced, each of them are divided into three sub-levels, low, mid, and high. The fourth is CEFR. So CEFR is the European standard for measuring the language proficiency. It consists of 6 levels with fully elaborated descriptors. A global scale is also provided to make it easier to communicate the system for non-specialist users and to provide teacher or curriculum planner working with common orientation points. So this is the example of the scoring rubric in CEFR. So the level is divided into basic user, independent user, and proficient user. And each of the level is divided into two sub-level, B1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. Now we will move to the second topic, teaching beginner levels. There are some tips in teaching the beginner levels. First, students' cognitive learning process. In the beginner class, the teacher can encourage the students by simply repeating words or phrases to use practiced language for genuinely meaningful purpose. For example, getting information from a classmate whom a student does know will require using newly learned language. For example, the teacher can ask the student to ask some question to their friends, such as, "What's your name? Where do you live? What is your hobby?" But with a focus on the purpose to which language is put, not on the forms of the language. The second is the role of teachers. In teaching beginner students, the role of the teacher is the authority of the classroom, is becoming the authority in the classroom. So in the teaching and learning process, in the beginner classroom, the teacher can apply teacher-centered learning. And for the activities, the teacher can put the student in pair work or group work activity. The third tips is teacher talks. So in teaching the beginner student, the teacher should speak clearly, slow the speech but don't lose its naturalness, uses simple vocab and structure, and allowed to use mother tongue to convey the meaning. So in the beginner classroom, the teacher is allowed to use mother tongue to convey the meaning. So it will help the student easier to know about the translation of the meaning in the target language. The fourth, authenticity of language. So authentic material should be a basic component in language teaching. Authenticity in language teaching implies not only authentic materials, but also authentic tasks and learning environment. The next tips is students' creativity. In the beginning level, the student can be creative only within the confines of a high control repertoire of language. Next, activity and tasks. It is important for the teacher to apply short, simple techniques in the teaching the beginner students. For example, drilling or pair work or group work. Listening and speaking goals. So the goals of listening and speaking activities in beginner classroom is making sure that listening and speaking activity are meaningful and authentic communication tasks. It is limited more by grammar, vocab, and length of utterance than by communicative function. Fluency and accuracy. For the beginner level, fluency doesn't have to apply to long utterances but only within limited utterances length. The attention of accuracy should center on particular grammatical, phonological, or discourse elements that are being practiced. Reading and writing goals. In teaching beginner students, it is important for the teacher to provide reading and writing topics are confined to brief but nevertheless real life written materials. For example, in a reading, the teacher can give text of advertisement or recipes, while in a writing, the teacher can ask the student to make a simple notes and letters. Form focused instruction. What is the meaning of form focus instruction. So FFI or form focus instruction is an instruction that focuses on a target grammar. In teaching the beginners this in teaching beginner students or in teaching beginner classroom, the teacher can use very simple form, personal pronoun, and simple sentences. Let's move to the next topic, teaching intermediate levels. Teaching intermediate level is a little bit different from teaching beginner levels. And there are some tips in teaching intermediate students or intermediate levels. First, student cognitive learning process. In teaching the intermediate levels, the teacher can engage the student directly in the target language along with improve the student ability in using phrase, sentence, structure, and conventional rules. The role of the teacher in the intermediate level class is the teacher become the facilitator of the students. So in the teaching and learning process, intermediate levels, the teacher can apply student-centered learning since the student should be encouraged to use language actively. Teacher's talk. In teaching intermediate level, the teacher should have clear articulation, use live native language, but some situation may still demand it. So in teaching intermediate level, the teacher still can use mother tongue or native language to convey the meaning, but not much as in teaching the beginner students. Authenticity of language. In the intermediate level, the students sometimes still focus on grammatical correctness and might get them too far apart from authentic real language. The teacher has responsibility to make them stay on the track to learn by using authentic materials. Fluency and accuracy. In the intermediate level, some students are likely to become overly concerned about accuracy and fluency. So the teacher has responsibility to maintain the students' flow with just enough attention to error keep them growing. Student creativity. In the intermediate level, the students sometimes make interlanguage error. For example, just John can sing, or what means things? I must make a lot of money. I must to make a lot of money. So when the students make this kind of error, it is normal, and the teacher should make sure to help them to notice those errors and works on their eventual eradication. Activity and tasks. In teaching intermediate levels, the teacher should create the activities that increase in complexity. For example, chain stories, storytelling, paired interviews, role play, and group problem solving. Speaking and listening goals. In the intermediate level, the student's skill in listening and speaking increase steadily. You can participate in short conversation, solicit information from others, and etc. Reading and writing goals. In teaching intermediate level, the teacher should increase complexity in terms of length, grammar, simple stories, and paragraph. Form focused instruction. The teacher should keep grammatical metalanguage to an ideal minimum at this level. Let's move to the last topic, teaching advanced level. Teaching advanced level is also different from teaching beginner and intermediate level. So the tips is also different. So what are the tips? Here are the tips of teaching advanced level. First, students' cognitive learning process. In advanced level, the student can put the formal structure on the language and express their feeling in interactive communication. So in teaching advanced level, the teacher has responsibility to assist the student in the ongoing attempt to atomize language. The role of the teacher, the same as teaching intermediate level. In teaching advanced level, roles, the teacher role is become facilitator of the student. So in the teaching and learning process, the teacher can apply student-centered learning and create effective learning opportunities for the students. Teacher thoughts. In advanced level, the students are expected to use target language at natural speed. So the teacher in teaching advanced level has responsibility to give challenge to the student in vocab, idiom, and other language feature. Authenticity of language. Advanced level, everything from academic prose to literature to idiomatic conversation become legitimate research for the classroom. Fluency and accuracy. The advanced students are no longer thinking about every word when they are producing sentences. So the teacher has responsibility to maintain the students in increasing their fluency and accuracy. Student creativity. In this level, the students are able to apply classroom material to real context beyond. In advanced level, the teacher has responsibility to make sure that the students keep their eyes fixed on those goals. Activity and tasks. In advanced level, the teacher can apply techniques that can focus on full range of socio-linguistic pragmatic competence. For example, the teacher can apply debates and argumentation or complex role play. Speaking and listening goal. In advanced level, the student can focus more on carefully on all the socio-linguistic nuances of the language. Reading and writing goals. Reading and writing skills similarly progress closer and closer to native speaker competence as students learn more about such things as critical reading, the role of schemata in interpreting written text, and reading a document related to one's profession. Form-focused instruction. So the concept at intermediate level for basic grammatical patterns now graduates to function forms, sociolinguistic and pragmatic phenomena, and building strategies competence. Your classes need not become saturated with explanation of form, but well-targeted form-focused instruction will often be extremely effective on these levels. So that's all about teaching across proficiency level. If you have any question or comment, you can write it in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Goodbye.